There's part 2 of your series, the special of the playoff edition. Here's your host, Tally Campbell, alongside special hockey analyst Tanya Brzezovich and Coast Eastern Conference, Chris Cannon.
Alright, now it's time to talk about slumping teams. Obviously my team, the Calgary Flames. Now, all you Calgary Flames fans, just like me, I have to tell some jokes, even though I don't want to, but they're funny. What is the difference between a bra and the Flames?
A bra has 2 cups.
Yes, correct. What do the Flames and Titanic have in common?
Something to do with sinking.
Yeah. They both look terrific until they hit the ice. And why can't the Calgary Flames surf the internet? They can't put together the 3 W's together. Alright, anyway, so last season the Calgary Flames had 46 wins, 30 losses, 6 overtime losses. They scored a total of 254 goals, allowed a total of 248 with 98 points. This season they have a total of 40 wins, 32 losses, 10 overtime losses, only scored 204 goals, but only let in 210 and only 90 points. So although they only scored less goals, they also decreased their goals against. What do you say about something Calgary Flames? Is it anything to do with Mickey Kibbersoff?
They don't have 4 lines. They don't have a scoring line. They don't, I am a believer in the traditional 2 scoring lines, a checking line, and you grind your 4th line type hockey. And they just don't have that. If they're not going to get rid of the Sutters, Daryl Sutter in particular, I've completely put on the hook for the mess that is this team, then I don't see them getting any better. They have got to look at a GM change.
Yes. Ken King, the Flames president, announced yesterday that he's still not denied that Daryl Sutter's going to keep his job there, but he's also putting forward that possibly a new assistant general manager help him out. Do you think that'll help Daryl?
No. No, because
no. No, you can go on.
No, he's stubborn. He doesn't listen very well. He's still, as long as he's there, he's running that show.
Yeah.
And he's going to make the final calls. And he has just botched this team from the cap to the trades to the. He's just blown it.
Yes, this team really exploded this year with trading with Oliokonen and Dion Phaneuf and everything. Question to you, Chris. Jerome again, a lot of talk about him getting traded. Is it really Jerome, or is it lines with him put together? Last year with Mike Camilleri, they did well. He has no key center, but what do you think?
First of all, thank you for Mike Camilleri. He helped Montreal a lot. And I don't think it's Jerome's fault because he scored many goals. But you can't really blame the Flames because the competition was so tough in the West.
Yes, especially the Vancouver Canucks having a marvelous season this year.
Yeah, I think the Canucks swept the series or season series.
3-3.
Yeah. And I don't know if they should trade him. I guess they should just wait and see.
Yeah. All right. Anything else out of Calgary?
Yes, I would trade him because I think that team needs to rebuild. I think they need to dump the salary. No, you can't blame it on him, but that doesn't mean that there's a space for him under the current system. They do not have a center to play with him. They do not have the cap space to get a center to play with him. You may as well move him and clear up some cap space.
All right. The Edmonton Oilers obviously no slumping team this year. No need to even look at the stats for that bad. But yesterday announced on TSN that they'll be getting the 1st overall pick. Who do you think they'll be getting, Taylor or Tyler? The scouting draft said they were number 1 and 2.
I honestly don't know.
Don't know?
I
haven't heard much of either of them. I just heard James Duffy talk about them yesterday.
I would pick Taylor Hall because he played so well with Jordan Eberle.
Yeah.
And they've also got Linus Ullmark, and they're gonna go like flying once they get all their guys.
All right, and a couple days ago, Sheldon Surrey requested a trade. Do you think that's because of the slumping team and he wants to be a better team, or is there stuff with him and Pat Quinn?
Could be any of those things, I think, with him, and I think there's some personal stuff too.
All right.
Yeah.
And the future Pat Quinn? Gone? Stays?
I think he stays because I still think that they've got a young team that's building. I think he's a good coach for a young team.
Yeah.
And I think he will turn around. They've got to get their goaltending straightened out. And I don't think Quinn's a problem.
All right, Steve Tambellini, general manager. Chris, gone, stays?
Probably stays. I don't see them making any changes. I think they've had a bad season, like worse than usual though.
Yeah. All right, so New York Rangers keeping John Tortorella, they signed him, and they're getting the number 6 draft picks. What happened with the Rangers here? Although they weren't the worst, they did lose to Philadelphia in a Sunday game. So they're 8th seed place by 2 points. What do you think?
Probably brought Tortorella in a little too late. It's part of it. Part is they got a lot of overpriced guys who all want to be stars but don't want to play defense net. I put on Glenn Sather.
All right.
Yeah, I put on Glenn Sather. He's just not brought in the right players for what they need.
Anything to mention on New York Rangers?
Every team seems to have some kind of superstar, and I think the Rangers need something better, like just to lift their spirits, get them confident.
All right, Carolina Hurricanes. I haven't seen much of this team this season. What's there to say? Cam Ward is to blame? Managers?
No,
Injuries?
Injuries.
Yeah, because Cam Ward was really good.
Yeah.
And Cam Ward was injured, in fact.
Yeah, he was injured.
A lot.
So
and they started turning it around. They just didn't turn it around quick enough, and a lot of it was rooted in injuries. Now that team should be fine.
Yeah.
They do have to figure out what they're going to do about some of their older guys. They didn't move Ray Whitney. They probably should have. They probably should buy out Rod Brindamore.
Yeah. So then we go to the Toronto Maple Leafs every year. They don't look like they're a core team. As I was looking at what Brian Burke has done to the team, they look like they have a core team coming up.
Brian Burke is, as far as I'm concerned, one of the most underrated, top quality, #1 GMs in this league.
Yes.
He knows what he's doing. If he's allowed to do what he wants to do, and if he doesn't get interference from MLSE, because that's always been the problem in Toronto, he's going to turn his team around.
Yes, I believe with adding Dion Phaneuf, Sebastian Jaguar, and a few other stars on that team, this team can start rolling.
The big issue is Gustafson's health, and whether he gets the health, the heart problems don't come back.
Yeah.
And the second issue is, much as I love Brian Burke, as much as I want to believe him, I don't believe he's not shopping Thomas Caberlet, and because he's too smart not to be shopping Thomas Caberlet. They have got to get another forward to play with Phil Kessel.
Yeah.
They're going to have the same issues as Calgary.
Yeah. Anything to say on Toronto Maple Leafs?
I hate the Maple Leafs till I die, but I think Brian Burke is a good GM, and I think the Phaneuf trade was good. They're making him captain next year right here.
Yeah.
And I think that might lift them a bit.
All right. So
And it might be good. And it might be good for Phaneuf.
Yes.
Having that responsibility,
Yeah.
that might help in the maturing process with him. My only concern for the Leafs is what I said in terms of Burke having the authority and the freedom to do what he needs to do, and whether long-term Ron Wilson's the right coach for this team.
Yeah, that's what I was going to mention. Is Ron Wilson's been out of this slump for quite a while.
I hope that if things don't improve in the next year or two, that Burke doesn't let his personal feelings get in the way and he considers replacing Ron Wilson.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he's the guy.
Yeah. All right, now Tampa Bay Lightning, obviously, I believe their ownership has affected the team
Absolutely.
a huge bit with their financial statement and everything. Jeff Vanek, the chairman of the Tampa Bay Lightning, fired Brian Lawton, the general manager, Rick Toshek, as a head coach. So obviously, they look like they're going to a brighter move. Is that anything? Do you think they're going into a step forward by firing these two?
What do you think?
They're not that bad. I don't know if it has anything to do with the management.
Yeah, especially when you're getting Steven Stamkos with 51 goals.
No,
is it goaltending the problem, or?
It's goaltending. It's management. It's too much money and too few guys.
Yeah.